welcome to today's Global Go-To session on 2.5, Research Incredible Connections. So the first thing that you guys should do with this assignment is think about a company that you're interested in working for, perhaps. Can you guys hear or no? No sound? It just came back? Okay. All right. Tell me if it fades out and I'll move again. Okay, let's see. I'm on the campus, but actually I might not be in a good spot, it seems like. Okay, so if it fades out, I will move one last time to another spot. Okay, so again, the first thing that I would do, I'll go ahead and repeat that because I'm not sure if you heard it, that you want to do for this assignment is determine a company that you would like to research. A company that you're interested in working for would be a great choice, a company that you like and respect. And that way you can start learning about your industry and a specific company that may be one that you'd like to work for in the future. Okay, that being said, you're going to be utilizing some tools in order to do your research. So you've got some choices with those tools. And the choices can be for you've got to have 4 total sources for this assignment. Okay? So that means 4 articles total. So 2 of those articles need to be from research databases. So those can either be both from EBSCOHost or both from LexisNexis or one from each if you'd like to use and practice with both databases. That's fine too. So, but 2 of them have to be with either LexisNexis and or EBSCOHost. The other 2 articles need to be from any search engine of your choice. Now, if you have like an industry-specific search engine you'd like to use, I'm fine with that. You could do that. Or if you just want to go out and use Google, I'm fine with that. You can use whatever search engine that you want. We do have a list of operators, search operators for you that we'd like you to use as part of that search when you get to the search engine part. Okay, so quiz time. How many sources, how many articles do you need total for this assignment? 4. Okay, excellent. Just making sure everybody's awake. All right, so that's good. So you guys are right about that. Okay, so 2 from the research databases and 2 from a search engine. So that's good. Okay, so you also need a minimum of 4 images, right? And not just any image. These images need to be from the Associated Press. So exactly, Jean's saying AP. So you need to have at least 4 images from the AP image database, okay? So you can tell we're working on digital research this week very heavily. All right, so when you've got your articles and you've got your images, obviously you need to cite all of those things, right, within your presentation. And you need to have a screenshot of the company info within your presentation. Okay? Everybody clear with me so far? So we're going to work on these things in just a moment. Okay, good. I'm just clearing up what the requirements are for you at first. Okay. The other thing is it needs to be in presentation format. So really, if you want to use like Microsoft Word, let's say, that's not a good choice, right? Part of digital literacy is knowing what tool works best when. And when you see the word presentation, like document format isn't typically the best choice. So I would recommend utilizing either Google Drive's presentation tool, OneDrive Live, PowerPoint. Now, it doesn't have to be web-based for this assignment. So it does not have to be a web-based presentation tool. It can be if you want it to be, but if you have like PowerPoint or Keynote or something on your desktop and you'd rather use that, that's fine. Prezi will be okay. Yep. So really, I'm fine with any kind of presentation tool as long as it's in like a slideshow format. All right. So everybody good on that? Good. So if you want to use like Emaze, Prezi, I'm fine with those tools as well. If you're not sure about a tool, then if you ask me tomorrow, I'll be around until about 4 o'clock tomorrow. So if it's after that point, then check with the helpline over the weekend. But really, I'm good with any like slideshow type of presentation tool. Those will be fine. Okay. So, and if it's online, like Prezi, like Ashley is asking, then that's all well and good, and just you can just provide the link to the presentation. Okay. All right. So that's good. Okay. So in addition to looking up and researching the articles and getting your AP images, you're also going to be doing an evaluation of each article. So that's really the heart of this assignment. It's really like the major portion of it. So within the instructions, there is the evaluation guide. And has everybody who's here had a chance to look at the 10 C's Evaluating Resources 2.3 activity on the dashboard? I know most of you have. Okay, excellent. So you know what I'm talking about when we talk about evaluating resources. So our evaluation questions that we came up with are based on those 10 C's criteria. So those are a really good, kind of like tool for you to use anytime you're evaluating a resource and determining whether it's reliable or unreliable, whether or not you want to use it. Okay. So these are the kind of things that we want you to look into, because this is critical thinking. This is academic based, advanced types of research. We're not talking about just using a source and throwing it out there. So we want you guys to be in the habit of figuring out how and determining whether a source is valid or not. So it's okay if you're not crazy about a source. You might feel one source is kind of, like maybe you think it's like 80% good. That's fine. You can still include it, because what you're doing for this assignment is evaluating the source. So it's okay if it's not the best source. You'll be telling us about that. So the other thing that you want to do is you want to provide an introductory paragraph about the company that you've chosen and why you've chosen it. And you want to, and what the company is, what they do, that kind of thing. And you also want to provide a paragraph or so, a couple paragraphs about each article and why you felt the way you felt with the evaluation. So you'll answer all the evaluation questions, and then you'll provide some summary information saying why you felt the way you felt about the article and the results. All right, so everybody good on that? Okay, so basically what you're going to have is, like when the presentation starts, let's say you'll have a screenshot of the company and a company description. Then you'll have like article 1 with the permalink, the evaluation questions answered, and then a summary as to why you felt that way, right? Then you'll have article 2 with the permalink, an article, the evaluation questions answered, and a summary of why you felt that way. Then you'll have your search engine articles, 3 and 4, same process, right? Evaluation question, summary, evaluation question, summary, all right? And you want to sprinkle those AP images around in the presentation wherever you feel that they look nice, okay? So does anybody have an idea of what company you'd like to use? Okay, Tyler, what company? Okay, Activision Blizzard. Okay, I know that's a big one, so we'll go ahead and use that. Okay, let's see here. All righty, let me log into Connect. Okay, so one thing that you want to do, okay, Bungie, National Geographic, Google, okay, we've got some good choices here. So we'll use a few of these for some of the different areas here. Okay, so when you're ready to start your research, you want to, of course, make sure you're logged into Connect. So anytime you use the research databases or, AP images, you want to make sure that you are logged into Connect first. Otherwise, these databases naturally won't be able to recognize you as a full-scale student if you're not logged in to the library, right? To connect first. So that's the first thing that you want to do. So once you're logged in to connect, you want to go ahead and find the library, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Yes, Michelle, I'm fine with any company. A note on that though, the company, in order to really find some articles, needs to be, of a reasonable size, or they need to have like produced a product that had some reasonable amount of popularity. Otherwise, if it's your friend's company who's got 2 employees, right, and has never produced like a wide scale product, it's not going to be found naturally in research databases and and AP images and that kind of thing. So make sure it's a reasonable sized company. The larger the better, the more information you'll find naturally. But we'll look at some alternatives in case you want, say, a medium sized company that you might not find a lot of info on. You could be creative with your search terms and still come up with some info by like the products they make, let's say. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we are in Connect. And then, of course, you want to go to the library link. Click that. And scroll down. And you want to go to Research Databases. Okay, so once you're in the library, under Research Databases, you want to click that. And then the whole list of academic research databases, right? Huge list here, will pull up. So we're only, requiring you to use 2 to 3 of them right now for this class, but take some time on your own to explore some of the others, like Molly Puhler talked about, or Ruben, if you had him with the go-to, like West Star Music, and a lot of great resources here for you guys to be able to use. So take some time on your own to explore some of those others. If you want to add anything from the other databases like music, you're welcome to do that, but obviously it's not required. So here's online research databases here. A note to students. If you are experiencing any issue with accessing the library resources below, please use the following site. So here's an alternative link that you might want to go ahead and copy and bookmark so that you have this alternative link. If you have a problem getting into the library, you have this outside of it where you can go ahead and log in through this link that they provide. Okay, so, and on that note, if you do have issues with the databases, logging into them, that kind of thing, keep in mind you need to be logged into Connect and then the library. But if you still have some kind of issue with that, then contact the library for support. If you feel that it's really a technical issue, like something with your browser or something like that, then you reach out to FSO support. Okay, all right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start out with LexisNexis. Okay, so I'm going to go here to LexisNexis Academic. And what was that company? Activision Blizzard. Okay. So because we're researching a company, notice that LexisNexis here has this button that says Get Company Info, over 80 million company profiles. So that's a good source for you to use for this assignment. And naturally, anytime you're wanting to look up company information, if you want to work for a company, or you're interested in finding out about a company for possibly working for them, maybe, or something like that. Okay, so Get Company Info. If you click that, and you can just type in the company name. So let's use Tyler's, Activision Blizzard, right? Inc. Okay. And it's not case sensitive, by the way. I'm just have it. All right, so click go. And we've got 3 different results right here that it feels like are the most related to what we said. So Tyler, it's the first one, isn't it? Right? Okay, good. Now look up here. You notice that it says the search found 27 companies. So right here, they're just listing the top 3. And naturally, it is the first one, as Tyler's saying. So we'll use that first link because that is the correct one. But that's something to note because a lot of people miss this. with this view all companies, if you didn't see it in the link and it's a different company that's related to, another company's name, it would appear here under that button, and you would click that and then look for it there. So, but we've got it as the first search result. So we'll go ahead and click it. And here is a huge company profile. More information than you can imagine about this company. So it tells us all about it. It tells us, its stock ticker. It gives us an email, their phone numbers, their address, their yearly financials, the top executives along with their LinkedIn profiles if they have one, the board of directors. I mean, you name it, right? Recent legal cases, all kinds of stuff. Their patents, their trademarks, right? So an amazing amount of information here about this company. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get a screenshot of this information. So I'm on my Mac. I'm going to do Command-Shift-4 to get a screenshot. Okay. You guys, if you're on a PC, print screen will get you a screenshot. Okay, so now I've got a screenshot saved for the company because I'm required, remember, to put that screenshot into my presentation, right? Okay, so let's say that I want to use Google Drive. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second here. And if you're using Google Drive, you could use, whatever presentation tool, but I think the most direct route, easiest one to use is Google Slides, which is Google's presentation tool. Okay, so here I am. I'm in Google Slides, and I can choose a template. Say I want this one, I choose OK. And now I've started my presentation. So I'm going to call this Blizzard. Wait, I've forgotten what it was. It's Activision Blizzard. That's right. Okay. Activision Blizzard Incorporated. Okay. So, of course, I want to include my name and student number, right? Okay. Good to go on the title slide. All right. So, of course, I'm going to insert, some new slides here. And just do a few to start out. Okay. So I would recommend on the next slide putting your screenshot, right? So adding that screenshot right to it. So you can see my screenshots over here on my desktop. So I can insert an image here, and I can just drag and drop this screenshot that I saved. And now it's uploading it, and boom, there it is. Easy enough, right? So then naturally I could resize it, to whatever size I wanted. I'm not going to mess around with formatting right now for time's sake, of course, but you would want to format it however you want. Okay, so step 2 accomplished. That was easy, right? Have my screenshot. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go back into LexisNexis in a moment. But let's say on this third slide, this would be probably a good place for you to have your company information, company summary, right? Why you like this company, why you respect it, if you want to work for it in the future, that kind of thing, what the company's about, what they do, that kind of thing, right? So have a slide for that, and you could, have a slide or two for that. If you wanted to have some images, whatever, that would be great there too. Okay. All righty. Then, so I'll just put company summary. All right. Okay. Now I can start talking about the company by way of the sources that I've researched, right? So if I'm in LexisNexis and I want to, and I want to get some articles here, I've got right here in my company search in the news, right? I could do right here major newspapers, magazines, transcripts, that kind of thing. So what if I chose this, right? Look how easy that is. I've got a whole slew of articles here for Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, don't I? See that? Good stuff, right? Okay. So if I wanted to look at one of these articles and use it, now a note is it's not a good idea to use, well, actually you can. I take that back because we changed this assignment a little bit. So forget that. I was going to say not a good idea to use PDFs, but you can do that now. Okay, so let's say I want to check out this first link. It's from USA Today. It's earnings season. What's most important? So there's the article, right? So if I like this article, you know, it doesn't have to be my favorite article, remember, because I'm going to be evaluating it for its credibility, but I could use it, right? So if this is an article that I want to use, right? Okay, this is an article I want to use. What I want to do first is get a permalink to this article, okay? So I'm going to get a permalink to the article. So right here at the top, it says create permalink, right? So, you know, give the title and so forth of the article. And then, let's see here. Let me see something over here. Yeah, I'm not liking the way that this is. I'm going to show you guys another way to do this too. But anyway, create permalink. Here's the permalink that you would copy in as a source link to this article. Okay, let's see. All right, we're gonna do another kind of search. Okay, so let's do new search here. See this top search button here? New search. Okay, let's stay with Activision for a minute here. Okay, so Activision Blizzard Inc. Now I could get more refined if I wanted to look up information about a new game they've created or something like that. I could put that new game or something like that, right? So you see I've got all different kinds of results here, 999. I could refine it if I wanted it to be, you know, on people directories and profiles from a magazine and journal, whatever it is that I want to do. I can use this source over here to refine it a little bit better, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you something right here. You see this little book right here? We'll hold on. We'll look at that in a second. First, let me click on an article. Okay, so let's say I click on this article. Let's say, you know, I read through it a little bit. I like the information here. It's interesting to me. So let's say I want to use this, and it's not in English. Let's use Google Translate and translate it. Let's see. Okay, so there it's now translated into English, right? Okay, so that's good. All right, so if I like this article or if I feel that, you know, it's good, it's got a lot of information here, whether I like it or not, because remember, it's okay if you don't because you're evaluating its credibility, I want to use it. So what I'm going to recommend to you guys, because the permalinks don't always work the best, is also, see this little book here? Also click that book and let's see. Okay, and then choose this button here. Display bibliographic information in a new window. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a source to the article right here. And you can just copy and paste that. Now you've got a direct source right there, proper source for your presentation. Okay, so I'm going to put that in my presentation, right? So I could title the article, I don't remember what it was called. I'll just call it Activision Blizzard new game, let's just say. Okay, whatever the title is of the article, you want to put it there. And then, of course, there's my source to the article. So I could start my, you know, I could have the source up top. That's fine. Wherever you want to have it, as long as I can see it clearly and have your information with the evaluation questions there being answered. And then give the your summary on how you felt about that, right? Okay, and yeah, the clipboard next to the book. Yeah, exactly. That's also a good resource to use. Yeah, there's the clipboard. Yeah, so that's yeah, this is good too to copy that. So you can click permalink and then you can use this and or the other. As long as I have a direct link to it, that will work for me. Okay, so either one of those two will work for me. Either the clipboard with the link or the book where you generate the actual source. Okay, so that's good. All right, so if I find this article, I feel I want to use it, I put that source in, put the title, the source in, answer the evaluation questions, and then my summary. Okay, good. All right, so I want to do that twice, right? So I just did that once in LexisNexis, right? And I think LexisNexis is a little bit better for getting the screenshot and doing the company search. But if you're interested in using EBSCOHost to search, you can do that too. So let's look at EBSCOHost real fast. Okay, so remember, back to library and back to research databases, right? And then EBSCOHost. Oops, so we're going to do academic search complete EBSCOHost. Okay, so I could put in another. We're gonna use a different company as an example right now. Okay, so Jessica said National Geographic. We'll use that. Okay, National Geographic. Okay, there it is. So you want the magazine, the channel, or just National Geographic? Jessica? Okay, just National Geographic. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we go. Lots of searches coming up. And you can see right here where it tells you what kind. If you want to refine your search results, like maybe you just want it to be newspapers, you could choose that, and that would refine it, let's say, just to newspapers. So here's an article here. Let's say that you want to use this as one of your sources. I can click the article's title or HTML full text to get the full article. There it is. And I can click permalink here to get a permalink. See, this EBSCOHost is a little easier to use in this way because it's a little more direct with what you're doing over here. So see this permalink? There's your permalink, right? So just copy and paste that right into your presentation. Okay, so, oops, all right. Okay, so let's say if this was on National Geographic and ... I don't remember the name of the article. Okay, so now I've got my permalink. There it is, right? So that's good. Now, naturally, I'd want to make that a little smaller and all that good stuff, right? But I'm not going to spend the time on formatting these things, like I said right now, but I'll just do that real small. And then, of course, start answering your evaluation questions and then your summary, right? Okay, good. So I could do it that way. I could do one from Lexis and one from EBSCO if I wanted, or I could do them both from Lexis or both from EBSCO, right? Okay, and then after you've done that, what you want to do is you want to use your search engines and find 2 more articles. So any search engines are fine. Use the search operators that are provided for you as examples. And again, any search engines that you're interested in using will be fine, okay? And same process, provide a link to the source and then answer the evaluation questions and provide a summary about the article and why you felt the way you felt. Okay, good? All right, so is everybody good on those parts of it so far? Okay, excellent. So really, at that point, all you need to do is grab your AP images and sprinkle those along in the in the presentation, right? So same thing, to get to AP Images, go into Connect, click on Library, and then Research Databases. And under EBSCOHost right here is AP Images. So we've got AP Images collection through EBSCOHost. So you can see up to 3,500 photos added daily. Good stuff. Lots of resources for you. Okay, so you just click that AP Images link and you'll come right into the AP Images database. All right, so very easy to use. So let's go with Jessica's company, still National Geographic, right? And then search. And I know I'll get tons of images for National Geographic. So whatever images you like, you're welcome to use. So let's say I want to use this image, right? I can select it here. I can click on that image, right? And then I'm going to get more information about it. So there's a larger view of the image for me. I can do a quick save, or I can choose download. You know, obviously that's going to save it wherever you've got your images being saved from the web anytime you download something. So here is my image ID. So I want to copy this image ID, right? Put that picture of the lady with the bird here into my presentation somewhere, and then use the image ID as my source. So if I have the image, let's say on this slide right here, you know, maybe I've got the image here, right? And then I would just copy and paste that image ID. And you don't even have to put the words image ID, but you can. Okay, so there we go. Now I've got a source for that image. Okay. Now I know it's from the AP Image database, so I'm not requiring you to do that. If this wasn't being turned into me, you would want to have like a separate page. Would be a good idea that would say citations or resources or references, and then you could have like images retrieved from the AP Image database and have their image IDs. Okay. And of course, if it was like APA, it'd be a little more formal than that. But we're not getting into that for digital literacy because you guys have enough to learn this month. You'll get into that when you get to English. Okay. So for now, citing the image ID is perfectly acceptable, and it does provide a valid source to the image. Okay. Everybody good with that? Okay. So excellent. All right. So what if you're doing, yes, APA, yay. So if I was looking, now we know National Geographic's a huge company, right? And no, you don't need a reference page, Tyler. You can add one if you would like, but you don't need it. If you put your links on like the the introductory slide for each article, I'm fine with you not having a reference slide. If you want to have a reference page, you can, of course. It's always a good thing, but I'm not requiring that because it's a step further that we're not really getting into in digital literacy. But you're welcome to, if you know how to do that. Okay, you're welcome. All right, now what if you're using a company that's not huge, like National Geographic? Let's say what's a smaller gaming company, for example, that's not huge, like Ubisoft or Activision or any of those. What would be a small? Okay. Respawn Entertainment. Okay. So, all right. So let's search and see if we find any images. Okay. So see, compared to National Geographic, which would yield thousands of images, right? We just have, a handful of images here. This is fine, right? You only need 4, so this would work. But let's say you only got 2 images as your results, or you only got 1, or you didn't like the images you saw. Instead of putting in the title, you could put in like a game they created, right? Yeah, and 4 of them are the same. So good point, right? So you could put in the title of a game, let's say, for that company, and that would still be obviously valid because it would be related to your content. So, what's a game they've created? Okay, Titanfall. And now look at that. We've got 19. So we went from, just a few because some of them were duplicates to even more. So now you've got a lot more images, right? And then last but not least, if you're doing something smaller like this company, um, and let's say you didn't even have images of their game, maybe they're a brand new company and it just came out, then yeah, and then you could do something exactly like Xbox, and have pictures of a person playing a game or something. That would work too, as long as it's related to the content of your presentation. Like this would work, right? This would be a great image because it's people playing games. So it's related to your presentation's comments, so content. So that would absolutely be acceptable. All right. So everybody see what I'm saying? It doesn't, like, this would be a great image to use, for example. So it doesn't have to be inclusive of the actual, footage from a company or something like that. As long as it's related to the content of the presentation, then an image works well as a multimedia asset to help explain what you're talking about and add visual creativity. All right, so is everybody good on that? Okay, good. So same thing when you're doing the research. Let's say you wanted to use this smaller company here. Um, what was the name of it again? Respawn Entertainment. See, it's so small, I haven't heard of it. Okay, so Respawn Entertainment. Let's say that you're in the EBSCO or Lexus and you're wanting to use that company. Same thing. Maybe you only find one or two articles. Maybe you're not crazy about those articles and you don't want to use them. Then then maybe search for company executive's name. Maybe search for the title of the game, right? That's still about the company because it's talking about a game they produced, and you'll probably find something in the news about that kind of thing, right? So be creative. If you find you just can't find enough because maybe the company is too small or too new, then switch companies, go a little larger scale because it's still related to your industry, right? You're still going to learn information from it. So maybe it's not the company of your dreams to work for. Maybe you are wanting to work for a startup that's only, say, a few months old and there's not a lot of information on that company yet. That's okay. Either use something similar or be creative with your search terms where you could look into their product or maybe the research and how they started up or something like that. It still pertains to the company. Okay. So Jade's asking, so searching for a band that is signed by the record label would be an acceptable search. Um, the band wouldn't necessarily be unless you're wanting to like work for the band, which would, I guess, be a company if the band themselves are incorporated. But maybe you want to search for like the production company instead, let's say, right? Something like that might be better. But the record label or something like that, the company, their producers, whomever signed them, let's say the company that signed them, like Sony or something like that. But it's okay. I mean, I'm very lenient with the company you're using as long as you can find the results that you need. Okay, so good on that. So as long as if like the band considered themselves a company and like they were incorporated, that kind of thing, you'll probably find results, and I'd be okay with that. Okay, so really, as long as it's related to your major and it's a company that you respect, that you're interested in possibly working for, it would work for me. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to get out of this partially. Not only how to delve into research and how to really find information that's important to you, but also how to look up information again that's relevant to you, but to find out about a company that you're interested in working for, or maybe you're interested in developing a company of similar to this because you want to be self-employed. So you want to start researching maybe their path to success and what they did. So whatever take you want on it, I'm fine with as long as it's of interest to you, it's related to what you want to do, your major, and it's of benefit to you. Sound good? All right, excellent. Okay, then it sounds like everybody is understanding this then. It's good now. So Tyler's asking, can it be a mix of different things about the company? Absolutely. So you could take maybe that company that we looked at, Respawn Entertainment, a minute ago, and maybe you wanted to start out with the company profile of it, and then maybe you wanted to go into its most successful game, and maybe then you wanted to look at the CEO and the president of the company, and maybe they started it in their garage, and you find a great article about that and their path to success. So it can definitely be a mix of different things about the company. Absolutely. So be creative with what you'd like to learn about the company, and again, what's of interest to you and what will help benefit you as you're creating your goals and working through your degree. All right. So good question. All right. So at this time, then, we will go ahead and open up the forum for any additional questions. If you want to raise your hand, I'll be glad to unmute you, or you can type into the chat box. So remember, this assignment is due Sunday before 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? And the phrase, very good question. The phrase, the topic of the day is researching your company of interest. It is researching your company of interest. Okay, so the attendance sheet, remember, is always the same attendance sheet. So I'll go ahead and throw that link in for you guys who are here live, so you don't have to look it up. Yeah, YouTube would be great. Absolutely. YouTube would be a great company to research. Talk about a company that went large scale, huh? Okay, so there's the attendance sheet link, by the way, for you guys. And let's see, Tyler said that you have a quick question about assignment 2.4. Absolutely, Tyler. So, okay, the actual final document for 2.4, you'll want to post in the main 2.4 forum. So not on the team boards, not team A, B, or C, on the main 2.4 forum where I posted all my info. All right, so good on that? Yeah, so that's it. And remember, only one person from the team needs to post. You have until noon tomorrow as a reminder. I extended it. And the other thing is make sure that everything you've put there is where anybody with the link can view it. And make sure you've added everybody's name who participated. Don't include somebody's name if they were on your team and didn't participate. Okay? All right, good? All right, excellent. Okay, and then Christian, I'm going to unmute you. You're welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can. Hi.
Okay, so I was interested in using Blizzard as my company, which is a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard. Is that acceptable, or would you prefer me using the parent company?
No, Activision Blizzard, any company that you want to use is fine with me. And the thing is that, because maybe you don't want to work for the parent company. Maybe you want to work for, a subsidiary or a smaller version or, something like that. So that's fine. Yeah. Any company that's of interest to you is fine with me. Now, if it's like a really smaller part that maybe they acquired or something and you can't find enough information on it, like maybe it's a new spinoff or something, because sometimes large companies go out and buy up little companies. So say you
Mhm.
wanted to work for a little branch that was just starting up, then refer back to maybe the parent company to get more information, right, about the
Mhm.
company and about them and their mergers and acquisitions or something like that. But you don't have to be like that detailed with it. But just make sure you're choosing something, which that company obviously would have lots of information out there because it is a big, it's a big size company. So yeah, that would be fine. So any level or subsidiary or acquisition of a major company is fine to choose.
Okay,
Absolutely. Good
thank you.
question. You're welcome. Okay. All right, let's see here. So now we have, I'm unmuting Michelle.
Uh, I'm on Team C, and I wanted to know if do we wait for them to finish their project, or can we like tap into what they're doing?
Well, I mean, if you want to go on their team discussion board, I mean, you could look, but you really want to wait because you want to see what their finished product is. So it's kind of, they might not want you to be looking at their materials yet if they're still editing and rearranging things. So you should really wait until they've posted their final info on 2.4 before you get started.
Okay. And also, I know this is for my team, but I'm not clear on whether we have chosen a team leader and what our search engines are. So I'm like
Okay.
where we're going to collaboratively.
Right. So you want to go into the 2.4 Team C discussion board, your team one, see what
Uh-huh.
people are posting, if they posted anything new. And if nobody has done that, maybe pose some of those questions for them. Because, a lot of people, of course, haven't really gotten into collaborating yet for Team C since Team A and B haven't posted their analysis, their final documents yet. So I'd say maybe bring some of that up to get the ball rolling would be a good idea.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. And I don't see any more hands up. Oh, yes, no. Okay. Nope, no more hands up. Okay. Then any more questions in the chat box? I don't see any there either. So then on that note, thanks for joining everybody. I think we had a great session, informative. You guys gave some great examples. So I always appreciate your participation. Hope you guys have a great afternoon. And remember, I will be online until about 4 o'clock tomorrow. So if you need any help, reach out to me before then. And after that point, through Sunday evening, remember to reach out to the DGL helpline if you need assistance over the weekend while I'm off. So, yes, you can sign the attendance at any time, and there's the attendance link one more time. So, have a great evening, everybody. Thank you, and I will see you online.